It's a beautiful day today. The weather is lovely, but the traffic was terrible today. We had to cross a lot of terrible traffic since it's a long weekend. A lot of people were going out of station. But yeah, nice weather to ride back. Hopefully, we should not have traffic on our way back to Bangalore. Uh, so I've got my bike back after 2 months now. I've come for a ride after a while, and two of my other friends have joined. That's Vignesh on his brand new RS457. He's doing the running in right now, and that's Faizan on his RS457 too. Yep, we are just done with breakfast at Vaishali, heading back to Bangalore now. So that's Vignesh's RS457. It looks beautiful in this white paint scheme. He's got some accessories too. It looks really well with this motorcycle. Look at the tank grips, the tank pads. He's got some Evotech protective accessories too. The fork sliders, the bar end protectors, swing arm protectors. Yep, Vignesh is my buddy who also had the Tuono, which he sold recently since he was moving abroad. But now he's not moving abroad after selling the bike. Yep, so let's go. So I've done about 150 kilometers so far after taking the bike. I've done some mixed riding in city and highway, and I'm happy to report that the bike is performing well now. The bike is accelerating smoothly with no hiccups, no restriction like earlier. I managed to hit a 170 plus kilometers per hour. Obviously I'm not redlined the bike, I'm not pushed it too hard, I'm taking it smoothly. But yes, the bike is performing well, so happy about that. Thanks to Team Falcon Mobikes and Aprilia India for getting this sorted. It took some time, but at least the bike is running fine now. In the end, once the motorcycle is back, and you know, that's what makes us happy, and I'm happy right now riding the bike after 2 whole months. So I've been away from riding. One thing was the RS457 was at the dealership. The other thing is, a month back I also fractured my little finger. No, I did not crash on a motorcycle. It was an accident I had at home, and so the little finger on my right hand, it took some time to recover. So I was away from riding for some time. I was only driving cars, but now it's good to be back riding after a long time. So yep, thanks once again to Team Falcon Mobikes in Aprilia India for getting this sorted. See, obviously when the bike is away for some time, it gets frustrating for a rider, and that's what makes us happy, right? So it got a little frustrating for me. I could not even have the bike for the track day that Aprilia conducted recently. Yep, so able to do some decent speeds effortlessly. So yep, it was a bit upsetting for me because the bike was away for a long time, and I could not even ride the bike at the Aprilia track day, which was a wonderful event, by the way. It was a great initiative by Aprilia India to collaborate with RSER Academy. They had a brilliant track session where they trained riders how to ride on track, level 1 and level 2. And it was not just helpful for riding on track, but these lessons that we learn on the track, a lot of them are useful on the street too. You unlearn a lot of mistakes that you do on the track, and when you come back and implement it on the street, it's really helpful. You become a much smoother rider overall. So yeah, it was a great initiative, but unfortunately I could not ride. One, my bike was not available. I even rented an RS457 for the event, but unfortunately on the same day I even broke my little finger, so yep, I could not ride. But nonetheless, it was a great event. It was nice to be around like-minded Aprilia fans and riders. Lorenzo Savadori, the MotoGP test rider from Aprilia, was there, and John Abraham, the brand ambassador of Aprilia, was there. So it was a good experience for all of us. It was a great opportunity for all of us to meet these stars and also learn from the experts like Rajni Krishnan sir and his team. It was a fun event. Sad that I could not ride there, but then yeah, it was fun. So yep, the bike is performing well so far. I'll test it for some more time and see how it goes. But yeah, so far it's been good. So the issue that I had was it was struggling to go beyond 150, 160s. The acceleration, the power had come down drastically, and what we found out was that the compression of the motorcycle had come down. There was a leakage in the valves, which is why the bike was underperforming. The power had really dropped. So then that's sorted now with all the parts replaced. It was replaced under warranty. Thanks to Aprilia for sorting this out, and thanks to Team Falcon Mobikes, who spent a lot of time and energy to get this sorted. It was a long wait for me, yes, because the parts took some time to come. It took about half a month to understand what the issue itself, and eventually the parts took some time to come. So once the parts were available, Falcon Mobikes made the bike available. Worked on the bike quickly and got it sorted. And also they did some good amount of testing to ensure that the bike is running fine before handing it over to me. So thanks to Falcon Mobikes. Thank you guys. See, obviously I was a bit upset and frustrated when my bike was away. It happens to any rider when, you know, your motorcycle is away. And I was upset about the issue coming up so early and then having to wait for so long. It was a bit upsetting, but at least now the bike is back. See, obviously as a brand I love Aprilia a lot. They make wonderful motorcycles. The RS457 is right on top. It's the pinnacle. I love that machine so much. The 457 is a wonderful machine. It's a brilliant bike. I mean, it offers so much in terms of the overall package. It is such a wonderful machine. It's got a brilliant punchy engine, superb handling, electronic package is really good, and yeah, overall it looks so beautiful. So yeah, overall it's a brilliant machine that way. And even the scooters that I have, the Aprilias, they are lovely machines. They handle so well, they are powerful, they're so sporty. But yes, 457 is something that's yet to, you know, prove its reliability over a long-term period. Obviously Aprilia has done a lot of testing, is what they've said, but it's only with time, when users are using it in the real world, is when we will be able to see the long-term reliability of the RS457. So the issue that I have, as I say, I always hope that it is a one-off case. I don't think anybody else in Bangalore has reported any such similar issue. There was maybe in some other state, but yeah, that was a different issue. So yes, Aprilia is yet to prove its reliability on a long term, but and of course if there is an issue, there is feedback that should be given. And obviously even if we criticize something, it's because personally, at least for me, I would want the brand to improvise on the issue and make the product even better so that they do well. It's not like, you know, I'm trying to, you know, bash anybody or anything of that sort. Nothing at all. I love Aprilia as a brand. I really hope they improvise on their products. You know, criticism is gonna be there. You gotta take it in a positive way and work on it. I'm sure Aprilia is doing that. But yes, it seems like they were a bit upset about my last video. But it is what it is. I did not speak anything so negatively. I was just talking about the issue on my motorcycle. I'm not saying the RS457 is a bad bike, or every 457 is facing this issue. No, I'm not saying that. I said my bike had this issue. I've spoken positive things about the motorcycle too, right? It's not justified that I only talk about the good things and I do not talk about the bad things that I'd had to face on the motorcycle. The RS457 is a brilliant machine, but I was just talking about this issue which was about my motorcycle. And if there is some criticism made also, the company should take it in a positive way and work towards improvising the product. Obviously they're already doing it, but then I'm just making the point, because I would want the brand to do well. Obviously I want them to improvise on the product and make it better than what it is right now. What happens is, if we do not talk about the issue and the bikes are still selling anyways, the OEMs can take us for granted. This has happened in the past. Royal Enfield was selling no matter what. They've had very old technology. Their bikes used to vibrate so much. They had so many issues, but people were still buying those motorcycles no matter what. So why do they need to do anything to fix it? They're anyway selling. It's only recently that Royal Enfield started improvising and going with time, and started bringing in more technology and making the products better with some innovation. Likewise, I definitely do not want Aprilia to go in that direction. I want them to improvise on the products, and I want the bike to do well in the market. See, what also I was upset about is Aprilia India totally blamed it on the FuelX. Somebody who knows how FuelX works would know for sure that FuelX is not something that can cause an engine issue. It just slightly changes the air-fuel ratio to make the fueling better. Now, they suspected that maybe the bike was running lean and that's what caused the compression to go down low. No, I was not running the bike lean at all. There are 10 different settings in FuelX, 10 being the most rich and 1 being the most lean. 3 is the stock setting. I was mostly running around 4 and 5, where you get slightly better fueling than stock. And it's not a new product to me. I have sold a lot of FuelX for several motorcycles. I have personally been using it on my Mojo also, which works beautifully on the Mojo. The bike was already smooth and it gets even better. The fueling becomes even better. My friend Vignesh, who's joined us on the ride, he has had it on 2 of his Duke 390s. He's had it on his Interceptor 650, and he's never reported any sort of issue. I mean, I've not heard anybody reporting issues with the FuelX so far. Totally blaming it on the FuelX and not taking the ownership is something I was a little upset about. But I'm glad that, but obviously, they being the company officials have some standard procedures to follow. So they were right in their way, but totally blaming on FuelX and not taking the ownership is something I was a little upset about. But I'm glad that the bike is all good now, it is sorted. Aprilia India officials have been supportive, I have to say that. And Team Falcon Mobikes also has done a good job in bringing the bike back to life. One thing I would like to tell all riders is, if you do not want any hiccups on your motorcycle, try to keep the bike as stock as possible. If you want to do the mods, obviously you can do it. I would not stop you from it. a lot of us buy these motorcycles to do the mods and improvise on the performance. But then these bikes are new in the market, right? So as we all know, the bike itself is new and it's yet to prove its reliability. So it's safer to stick to stock setting and riding the bike. Avoid doing experiments or putting the exhaust. I've seen in North a lot of people have been putting fake exhausts. Get a good original exhaust at least, which is again against the warranty terms, but at least if you're getting a genuine exhaust and a genuine tune, there are lesser chances of something going wrong. So I would recommend you all to avoid doing the mods, because the bike itself is new and we are yet to know what it's gonna be like in terms of reliability, and what could go wrong we still don't know. Yep, so another issue that I have seen a lot of people talking about is the bike going to the left side if you leave the handlebar. You see this? Same thing is happening with me as well. Yep, it is going to the left. You see this? So this issue, I don't think it's a major issue. It happens only when you leave the handlebar. First of all, why do you need to leave the handlebar? As long as you are holding the handlebar, the bike is performing well that way. But having said that, there is a bit of a design flaw here. This is not something that the Aprilia dealership can sort out for you. It could be because of the weight distribution. Now if you look at this side, one thing on the RS457 is the front disc is on the right hand side. And then what I also read on some forums is that this side, the right hand side, the handlebar, from this clip on here, the handlebar and this switch unit on the right side is heavier than the left side. So one thing, this is heavier than the left hand side, and also the disc brake also is on the right hand side. So there is more weight on the right. Naturally what happens when you leave the handlebar, the bike will go towards the left. But then it's not something to crib about, guys. Just hold the handlebar and ride your motorcycle. Why do you want to let go of your hands? Right? Yep, so that's it for today. I'm gonna post more on the 457, my RS4, and the other motorcycles that I have access to. I'll definitely make more content which will be helpful for you folks, and also have some interesting mods coming up on the motorcycle. I'm gonna get them soon as well, so stay tuned. Please like, share and subscribe. Please show some love in the comment section. It will be really helpful for somebody who's new on YouTube like me. Thank you. Goodbye.